I'd just like to say, one of the things that the thought process that went into it was to make it something that didn't look, that had lasting sense to it, that wasn't, just totally current. You wanted to make it look like something that could go on for many years, because you don't want to print out new things with different logos.
Mhm.
So that was one idea. The other idea was there's an arc at the top of it, and that was sort of like a something to convey a sense of community, of something covering the group. And I didn't want it to be geared toward an age group, but general, and something that could be easily applied to business cards, stationeries, signs, whatever. So that was part of the thought process.
Great.
And, as I said,
It's super small. I can't print it bigger right this minute, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it.
can I,
Yeah, I don't think.
let me print it out and hold it up.
Yeah, Lillian's going to print it out and hold it up so you can all see it, okay?
Okay, because I can only print it tiny, like on.
Okay, she'll just print it out. Why don't we keep going, and then when she prints it out, we can put it up on my screen.
Okay.
One thing, if we're going to keep going, I was thinking that when we get going with this, would it be worthwhile to speak with the other COA that changed to the adult community center and see what they've run into as far as problems? I mean, I keep thinking that eventually when we get back to normal and people want to take advantage of this, they're going to say things like, no weekend stuff and evenings. And I mean, I wonder how this other group has dealt with that. I mean, we know right now that wouldn't be possible, but I don't know what else they would have run into. What do you think?
Well, I think that until you know what you're going to put out there, asking other people.
Well, no, just what have they run into with the name change? They obviously did it a while ago. It's been, over a year?
Just Barnstable, right?
It's the Barnstable, you would need to reach out to the Barnstable Council on Aging and see who, I know the woman that was the COA director during the name change is now the director of community services for the town of Barnstable. So she's no longer there. So I don't know if you want to talk to Maddie because she was there during it, or if you want to talk to the current director, or both.
Well, I don't know. I just threw it out as a possibility of an idea that might be helpful.
I have a related question, Robin and group, that occurred to me when I read Steve's excellent refashioning of the mission statement. We told the board that we were just changing the name of we're talking about changing the name of a building, not changing anything to do with the Council on Aging. But it has occurred to me that having a Council on Aging is related to a mandate, right, from the state, Suzanne?
Right, that's correct. Every every municipality is mandated to have a council on aging to direct services and programs for people over 60.
Exactly. But now we're talking about expanding it to adults in order to attract more people to our events. Does that in any way conflict with this mandate from the state?
Well, they're two separate things though, right, Suzanne?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
the
I
Council on
think-
Aging.
Yeah, to me, the way right now, the Council on Aging is the staff and the programs. The building is where the Council on Aging is located, and we oversee the current programs. However, all our programs have always been open to anybody 18 and over, with two exceptions. One is Meals on Wheels, and the other one is the free legal services. But we have always been available, our programs. So what I see this as is making programming through the COA that's more attractive to different age groups.
Right.
Because it doesn't mean that if we come up with a program that we think will be more attractive, it doesn't mean that people over 60 can't join it too. I mean, it's just gonna be
Can I
more
make
of
one comment?
it's more,
I excuse me, I did that redraft just to put something out there. I don't, please, don't take it as anything more than that. But I specifically included in there the term, especially older adults, with the idea in mind that, although it's open to all adults, that the main focus is older adults without trying to define who they are. Just a thought.
nobody in Wellfleet's old, Steve.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
I said, nobody in Wellfleet's old.
But we're all
If
above
you
that.
ask them
Well,
individually.
listen, look, I have a term to use which nobody will understand other than the few Jews who are around here. Eltakakariyim.
Nope.
Oh,
It
goodness
sounds
me.
bad.
You know what it means?
I do.
You know what it means. Well, for those who, it means old pissers.
Oh. So,
That's
I mean,
okay. I wanted to name our first van the Alta Wagon and they wouldn't let me.
yeah.
Hey, Will, how you doing with that? She's
But the
working
thing
on
is,
that. She's working on it, as they say in Brooklyn.
we would still remain, the advisory committee to the Council on Aging, right?
Correct. Correct.
The only thing that would change is the logo and the name and trying to encourage, it's just a way of trying to encourage more people.
Well, I think, but to my mind, our first target group would be the 60 to 75-year-olds.
Mhm.
Because we
Ooh.
don't have them here. We had more than I would have anticipated because of the exercise classes. But I just started my annual report to the Executive Office of Elder Affairs, and we served 351 individuals for a total number of 6,000 or 7,000 services. Let's say multiple people came in from multiple classes, and of that 351, 189 are 75 or over, and the balance are under 74 or younger. So I would say it's almost 65% or over 75 of the people that come here. So target audience, first target audience would be 60 to 75, and talk about doing evening and weekend programming because so many of them are still have a day job.
Mhm.
And we might want to, even something as random as a flu clinic, think about having even a 1-day clinic and 1 evening clinic so more people can get flu shots. I mean, it doesn't always have to be entertaining. It could be service-based as well. But I want to get back to the whole, I want it in writing what our aim is, what our goals are, what the process is. So that when any of us are asked questions, we're all giving the same answers.
Right.
And I don't need to be the one that writes those goals and the answers to those questions, but I want to be giving the same answer that Diane Reynolds does when somebody asks her what's going on. So
Yeah.
I think that is that's why I wanted to start this process. We're all hunkered down, have time to consider this. I'm going to put the same question to my staff to see what their input is. And but it's not going to happen, and it's going to happen slowly. I believe in Barnstable that Maddie reported at one point that there were requests for evening and weekend programming, and they were beginning to do that. So it would be good to check and see where they're at right now.
Yeah, I think about the people that met with.
Diane, you're muted.
Huh? I am?
No, Diane.
Diane,
Oh, I
Diane,
was
click
thinking-
on your little red microphone and unmute yourself.
I was thinking about the people that had met
There you
with
go.
Laura.
There you are.
Suzanne, do we have statistics on the number of people in the age group we're interested in?
Number of people who what, Diane?
that we're aiming at.
Oh, how many, yeah, I can get that. I can get the numbers from the town clerk of how many people we're aiming at.
That would
I
be
do know that
interesting
half the
to know.
people in Wellfleet are 60 and over. I don't know of that half, how many are below 75 and how many are over 75.
It would be interesting to know.
Yep.
The numbers.
She can run that report.
So that when we are writing something, we can say a percentage of our population is blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I was thinking about when Laura went out with some of the town people that were talking about how they would like weekend and night things. And, you know, I mean, we're gonna have to, I don't know, it's gonna be hard to limit ourselves. And we're gonna have to think about a lot of things, but we got a lot of time because we can't do anything right now, so.
Suzanne, what about the staff? If we decide to have,
But that's the point.
That's it. The financing of
Yeah,
extra hours for the staff.
yeah,
So,
that's what I'm thinking.
Well,
Yeah.
right now, I'm doing my budget for fiscal 22, which starts July 1st, 2021. And the next time I'll do it, so that if we don't get the extra, I will not have extra funds to pay part-time staff to monitor the building. We could possibly do it with a building monitor. And because we have had instances where there were events and one of the staff went in and was paid by the event to do monitor the building. So that's another discussion, but until I know what you want to do, I can't know how much it's going to cost or how we're going to put it out there. Or if we can put it out there. It could be fee-based activities too. I'm pretty sure the group that Laura met with won't want to pay a fee. So you're going to have to figure out a way to provide them with activities without them paying anything.
but I don't understand that because anywhere you go, like to yoga, whatever, you pay a fee.
Right, but I mean, not an excessive fee. I think a modest fee, but would it cover the instructor is my point.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we can't. The other piece is that if you're going to have an instructor, let's say Tai Chi or whatever on an evening class, if that person is an employee of the town of Wellfleet and then all the money from the class goes into the town and it's offset. So it's a budgetary planning question. If they're independent contractors, they have to provide liability insurance to the town and pay for the room. And there's a couple of ways of doing it, which we can discuss, but it's not going to happen. This is the planning session from now until the pandemic lets us have group meetings again. And then we can worry about putting stuff out there. But I think figuring out what you want to do and then how we would best put it out there are the first two steps before we worry about how we pay for it.
I wonder what they do like at Pres Hall with the yoga and all that. I mean, I know you pay a fee and I assumed it went to the teacher, but
I think the teacher pays them for the space and then they collect the revenue from the class. I mean, the teacher collects the fees from the class.
But I also think they have with some events, there is a split. For example, a percentage to Pres Hall, a percentage to the presenter. So, I'm not sure exactly how that works.
Well, we could find out. I'm sure that they would be happy
Yeah.
to share that
Could I
process.
add one more thing? I had some feedback from people. I was so thrilled we were able to get the name changed and was so happy about that. And then people said, oh, it should have been a more creative name or this or that. And frankly, you can't please all the people all the time, but I just wanted to tell you that there's, there will be some pushback on that. So.
Yeah, there's always pushback on any change.
Yes.
People aren't comfortable with change and they always know something that would have been better.
Yes.
Or they don't know that something would have been better, but they know they want it different.
Yes. Yeah. So just an alert kind of thing.
Right.
well, it's like that the young man at the meeting thought that this was not going, because we did this, we would never have a community center for everybody, kids included. Well, maybe, you know, I mean, he's talking, I'm sure, about a pool and daycare and all this kind of stuff. And we are never going to have that. So at least in our lifetime, probably. But I think that's what his point was. That if we, this name change is going to take away any chance of getting a big community center, didn't you?
Well,
feel
it
that?
can be something they blame it on. And I don't think it's going to have any effect, but if you want to be able to point a finger, you can point a finger at the name change.
And it might show a need. You know, with the
There's a
people that-
need, but the
many.
demographics don't support that kind of infrastructure
That's true.
at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
really, when you consider the numbers and the 30 to 50-year-old age
Right.
bracket, they're going down every year, and the people 60 and over are growing every year. So I think
Well, maybe all
town,
those wealthy people buying these houses would like to contribute.
Yeah, right.
Good luck.
they contribute their taxes.
I was going to say, they're only doing that.
So what is our next step? What do you
Yeah.
want
So
to
do you
do?
want to,
Star.
do you want to talk about the mission statement, or is it too early to do that until we get all the other?
Did you send the mission statement to everyone, Robin?
I
Because I sent
did.
it to you.
Yes, you
Okay.
did.
Yes.
Yes.
I
I
sent
think
the
I
old
sent
one.
my little revision to everyone also.
I think it's, I think it's a great start. The only thing as I read it again, the next to the last line, I thought the actual name was the Wellfleet Community Adult Center or
Well, this
adult.
is the existing one for the COA.
This is for the COA.
Yep, no, I'm thinking of what Steve has
Oh,
drafted.
Steve's, yes. It is the Adult Community Center.
Good.
So that's but otherwise I think it's good.
Well, I think it's a good jumping off place because your action plan can grow from your mission statement.
Yeah.
Now that you have your mission statement, if you all agree to it today, the next task would be to set some goals for yourself, short-term and long-term, for the execution of your program.
Before we jump off to that, can I make one suggestion?
Sure.
If we want to like use what I wrote as a sort of starting point on the mission statement, why don't I suggest this, that everybody send me the comments. I mean, I know the one about changing the name properly to what I wrote, and I'll redraft it to incorporate everyone's thoughts, and we can have a second look at it.
Sounds
I
good.
think, I don't think that's necessary. I don't think anybody has any major disagreements with it. I think the mission statement is fine and we should stick with it.
Okay, so I'll just make that one change and recirculate it to you.
Right.
Would it be helpful to look at goals as, for example, increased participation of Wellfletians between 60 and 75 or something like that?
Right. And then I think under each goal, there should be action points, like how do we do this? What are 3 things that could be done to facilitate that? So it's good to have a goal, but you need to have what are we going to do to achieve this goal? And we all know the SMART acronym, which I probably can't remember right now. But basically it means that your goals have to be achievable and measurable.
Yes.
Right.
So I think anything that you want, if you say, I want to increase participation by a certain percentage point, by a certain date,
Yeah.
that makes it much more easy to go back and check on your goal to see how you're doing. Let's say you want a 25% increase in people 60 to 75 by June 30th, 2021, for lack of a better time period. Then on you count the ones you have now, and then you count the ones you have on June 30th, and you can see where you are with the percentage. So it lets you know, have you achieved the goal, or you're still working on it, and how, or if you haven't achieved it at all, why didn't it work? So in 6 months from the first time, or probably 6 months is a good period, from the establishment of the goals to the checking on the goals would be a good rule of thumb.
What?
Mhm.
And then you just, I mean, goals are tedious. I agree. Creating goals is tedious. Discussing goals is even more tedious. If you've watched the select board do theirs.
Yeah.
And I would like to avoid reproducing that agony on this board.
Yeah.
So if each of you came up with one goal, joined it all together, sent it to Robin or whoever or send it to each other. Do you all have the group email saved in your computer so you can send everybody an email at once?
I wish I knew how to do that.
No,
Apply all.
Ask
Okay.
your grandson, he can fix it for you.
Okay, because I can bring up each one quickly, but I can't figure out how to do the group, so.
Well, you got to create a group in there. You can do it, Robin.
Who should it be submitted to, by the way, the goals?
Well, why
think-
don't we just submit it to each
Submit the
other?
goal
I mean,
to Robin and then,
general,
Excuse me?
actually, if you CC me
I
on
think-
those emails, if you CC me on the emails, I'll make sure they're
yeah.
put together and sent to you before your next meeting.
I think we should all work on goals and we should give ourselves a goal of doing it
Exactly.
within 10 days.
Okay.
That's good, Diane. Thank you.
Good,
So
Diane.
today is the 15th. Let's just say by January 2nd.
Okay.
Very
It
good.
accommodates for a few days off in there.
Yeah.
So everybody prepare one goal, is that what you're saying?
One goal,
Okay,
Or more.
a measurable goal.
so a goal with the measures as to how you would show its implementation.
Right.
Right.
And then that can be the discussion basis for the next meeting.
Yeah, which I think our friend with the one L in his
Okay.
name,
Would you please, so we can just-
I unfortunately am going to have surgery, so.
Okay, listen, Lillian just gave me a copy of the logo she designed. Now I'm gonna put it up. Can you see it?
All right.
No,
if
you gotta go higher.
No,
What?
it's higher, put it in front of your
Higher.
face.
higher.
Higher, higher, higher.
No,
Down.
no, vaguely.
No?
There, right
Oh,
there.
okay.
There it is.
There we are.
There it is, good.
Well-
There. Fine.
It's backwards.
Well, we can see it forwards.
so, yes, fine.
It's
Um,
fine.
And
What's the
the
matter with your hand?
arch is blue
Yeah.
and the
exactly.
font is in black. So it's a very,
It's a
it's
very
a good
simple-
jumping off point, especially for letterhead and business cards and stuff like that.
Exactly. And I'd like to make another comment, is that, I always, like to make sure that, something for older adults or adults who wear glasses is easily readable. And so I think that's a very important thing, not to make it too complex so that, people can pick up something and see it quickly.
Excellent.
And
You're right.
the other,
That's- I
I'm sorry.
agree.
Okay, I think it's fine.
okay.
I-
um,
I had
Probably
one,
take a vote on it.
I had one suggestion.
Sure.
And I wondered about, and maybe this is crazy, but
No.
putting a little oyster in there somewhere.
is that,
It just.
does that say something about the council or the group?
No, it
Yeah.
only says something about Wellfleet.
And also, look, it makes it much too busy trying to, you don't want to you want to make this fairly
that's true.
simple.
That's true.
Sticking oysters in it doesn't really do it.
No,
Yeah, right,
I
right.
don't like that. I don't like
Okay.
that.
Now, let the oysterman deal with the oyster.
Yeah, okay.
The simpler it is, the better, because
Yeah,
it has many.
It's a nice, elegant design. William's very good at
nice
this.
clean look. Yeah.
And
I
it's
just-
got
It's
our
all the
name, it's
board
got our
members.
address, it's got the phone number. It's got all the, and the arc is very nice,
If it's simple, then you can use it on cards, on stationery.
Right.
So,
Okay.
So we okay with that logo?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good to me.
Okay, so Lillian will go ahead and try to incorporate it in a sign.
do
Do
we
we
want to
wanna
make,
add-
do we want to make it official? Do we want to
Then-
make a motion?
Diane, why don't you make a motion?
I move that we accept the logo as designed.
I second it.
Robin, say all those
I
in
better
favor.
second this.
All those in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Oh,
Okay. We're not ready to vote on the mission statement though, are we?
No,
Uh,
I'd hold off on that.
Okay.
yeah, we can that can be bullet number 1 for the January meeting, and the goals discussion can be bullet number 2.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. So just to clarify the goal thing, we're
Sorry,
gonna
we'll pick up this.
come up with a goal and ways we can think about achieving it, and then we're gonna send it to everybody to review before the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
January 2nd, we're supposed to have it in.
Have it
Yeah.
in by January 2nd, correct?
Now,
thought
let
that's
let
what
me
we
get this straight.
decided.
Is this
Okay.
a mission statement or is this a statement of goals? I mean.
This is a
it's-
goal.
This is a
Oh.
goal,
Just goals and how to implement it.
Right. Okay.
and I would be not terribly surprised that a lot of you duplicate the goals.
Yeah.
Fine, that would
Makes
be
it good
good.
because it means you're more on the same page than not.
That would be good.
Yes, it would be good.
Okay.
Robin,
Yes.
one of the things that I did, Sally and Suzanne and I participated in some online classes in October or November through the Massachusetts Council on Aging. And this might tie in with something Suzanne and I had talked about getting a strategic plan for the COA, which we don't have, like a short-term goal, long-term goal. So maybe from that, it will be able to do it all together, if it's something the board is interested in.
Yeah. That sounds.
Well, I think that the
Advice to
board
people.
and the friends and staff should all be involved in that. And at some point, if we can ever do it, have a community meeting similar to the one the library had for their strategic planning.
Right, that's a
Good
mix
idea.
of the different board members, staffs,
Mhm, exactly.
stakeholders,
Yep.
I did it when I was on school committee. I was involved with it. It's just a thought. I don't know if it's something.
No, it sounds good. I just wish we could sit around a table and do it. I mean.
I know. And I don't think the strategic plan is something that happens quickly, but it's just a thought about where do we see ourselves 3 years from now? Where do we see, and I know now that's kind of hard to figure because we don't know where we're, 2 weeks from now seems difficult.
Right.
No, but
But
I
it-
think Suzanne's idea eventually is to have something like the library had, where all the community is involved.
Yeah, is that
Exactly.
like something that Sky facilitated, Diane?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had
that's
the
what we
meeting.
did at the elementary school. We had a
We-
big public forum and Sky broke us into groups and,
All her colored
have a
sticky
meeting.
notes.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But this might lead into that at some point if we're ever allowed to get together as a group again and do something like that. If we want to tag that 60 to 75-year-old age group, they need to be a part of where they want to see us in 3
I know,
years.
that's why I want to involve everybody.
Right. So if
Right.
it's something that we, and I know it's hard to plan all that right now because we can't plan anything with the community. But something more than a survey, an open dialogue where our shareholders are involved and let us know what they want.
Right, and I think that because there is a longer timeline between now and when we can meet in a group in a room, that it'd be good to look for grants, maybe from the Mass Council on Aging or other places that would allow us to engage a facilitator, because it's not inexpensive, but it's important to have someone good.
Someone who knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
Suzanne, is it possible to how expensive is it to do Survey Monkey?
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah. Do you think that's an option?
Well,
It
we did a
can't hurt.
Survey Monkey survey many years ago, and it was not very productive.
No.
But
Okay.
maybe, but the survey is only as good as the questions. So you need someone who knows how to frame the question so you get the information you're actually looking for.
Okay.
And
Well,
there are a couple
something-
people in town. who
Something
are
to think about anyway.
I know one
And I-
woman in town who does that, and she teaches UMass, I think, and she's getting into our catchment group, so that'll be good.
Okay, good.
And I think we have a little bit of a different audience than we did a few years ago, Diane. And I think we have more, better mechanisms to be further reaching and get a broader scope than we did
Okay.
before.
Okay.
That could be a
All right.
goal.
Yeah, that could be your
That
goal,
could be a
Diane.
goal.
Your
Yeah.
goal could be Survey Monkey.
Yes.
I think people are
Okay.
more apt to talk about things though and bring up things when it isn't a written survey, but I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah, I've
Well, there's always a room on the online survey to type in your own comment. And I know that when we did it all those years ago, Carol Maganaw took on the task of transcribing everybody's comment into Survey Monkey so we would have a record of it. And it's arduous. It's a lot of that. And also a lot of people, probably fewer now, weren't comfortable doing it online, and they did hard copies, and all that had to be transcribed as well.
Oh, dear.
Well, all right. It's worth a try.
Mhm.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
Well, thank you, Terry, for your comment, because I think it's very important that we do have a strategic plan, so we could incorporate other groups eventually, like the
Well,
library.
it's sort of part of what you're doing now. It's incorporating goals and long-term projections. And
Yeah,
I'll see if I can find, I think after we had taken those classes on MCOA, they were available to watch.
I think
So,
they're still on the website. Yeah.
yeah, so if they're open to the public, I'll see if I can find it and send it to the
great.
board and see what you think.
Good.
The other piece of this is once the COA has a strategic plan or planning in place, goals, they'll fit nicely into the fact the local comprehensive planning came to a screeching halt because of the pandemic.
yeah,
And to my mind, one of the big gaps in the previous plan was that the age of the population was not taken into account for needs or infrastructure or anything. We dealt with shellfishing and housing and transportation, but age-friendly communities also need to be a goal for the town as a whole. So this would lend itself to that as well.
Okay.
sounds
What's
good.
next?
Anybody
Robin,
else have,
you're up.
anyone have any other comments, or can we adjourn?
Let's set a date for the next meeting.
That's what I'm just gonna say.
Okay.
But I think that will be your meeting,
Okay.
because I will be probably well drugged by that point. Do we
Well, let's
wanna
have you do
this?
it. It'll be fun.
Huh? Yeah,
Let's have you do it. It'll be fun.
nothing's gonna be fun. Should we say we're the third Wednesday in January, which I don't have a calendar in front of me, but
Let's see, the third Wednesday in January is the 20th.
Sounds
Oh.
good.
That's an exciting day for us.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's not do it that day. We
Oh,
want
no, don't do it that
Wow,
day.
right.
Yeah, that's the day,
Inauguration.
the
Yeah.
day Biden gets inaugurated.
I'm
Right.
having champagne for breakfast that day.
Have it for all day long.
So
Enjoy
there you
yourself.
Great.
well,
All right, January 20th. Hooray, hooray.
Yeah, I don't think it should be that day because I want to watch TV all day.
Yeah, I
Do you want to
do.
push it off to the 27th?
or
That's
does
fine.
it have to be a Wednesday? It's not like we're all so busy.
No. Let's see what the 20. Guess what
Well,
I
let's
have?
make it-
Guess what I have on the 21st in my scheduler? The COA board meeting. So why don't we do it the 21st at 10 a.m.?
Okay.
Okay.
21st at 10. All right.
That's good.
I don't know how I managed that, but it was right there when I turned to the 21st. So
I
If
think,
I just say
uh,
one thing before we adjourn.
uh,
I just think, it's been so awful being not being able to be together and having everything kind of come to a screeching halt. But I feel very excited after today's meeting. I think we, got some great work to do, and it, it'll prepare us for when we can be together. So,
Right, and I think this is the kind of stuff where when we're
Here, here.
in previous times, everybody was so busy and going in so many directions.
yeah,
Thinking about this would have been more difficult to schedule. This way, I think we all have some more downtime where we can just, put our brains to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have one thing to say about Melissa's exercise class since I go, and they're outside in the parking lot of the Methodist Church. So if anybody wants to come,
In this weather?
so
I think it's weather dependent, Robin.
yeah.
I mean, I've been going to
Actually,
class outside, but I am a little choosy about what day I go. Not hers, but anyway, I don't know if she'll be able to do that though, because the group I go to in Eastham outside has been told we can't get together. So with this new COVID thing going on.
With the rollback, I don't think hers is not done through the town. Hers is private, so somebody would have to.
Well, ours is private too, but it's on Eastham property, so.
no, ours is in the parking lot of the Methodist Church.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if anybody wants to come, please come. Right? It's great. It's great.
I thought it was restricted. People who had been coming, just so.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I
no,
heard.
no, it's not. It's
Oh.
not as far as I know. You come.
Yeah, well, check with Melissa.
You go
Diane
and
will
tell
vouch for
everybody
you,
Ann
Evelyn.
said you could.
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay, shall I move to adjourn?
All right. Second,
I'll second.
I'll second it.
Second.
then we.
All in
will-
favor?
and Will, would you stay on for a bit?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, goodbye. Miss
All
you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye, Evelyn.
Bye-bye.
Oh, happy birthday, Beethoven.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's right. Okay, so I am handing the reins over to you for a couple months. I have to have my rotator cuff repaired. And I've already had the right one done, so I know how horrible it's gonna be. That's all I know.
That's
I'm
fine.
not-
I don't mind.
Can I send you, do you need, Terry was gonna send I told her to do a new thing with everybody's name and emails because Steve isn't on the one we have. So
Yeah.
she said she was gonna do that. So her son had a mild case of COVID, so she's been out isolating for 10 days. So she hasn't been around, but so she'll do that and it'll make it easier, but
Yeah, and I have the email addresses of everyone just by virtue of getting your emails such. So
Okay.
I'm all set for that.
oh good.
So
Yeah.
no,
And
I can do that.
by rights, it is your job. As they
Oh,
say.
I know.
Oh no, we're not gonna change because of the I
No,
said,
no, I've
what if the
got-
virus goes on for 10 years? I'm gonna be stuck in this job.
No, I've got. It's not public yet, but I just got put on the board yesterday of Outer Cape Health Services.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
Mm.
I got more stuff to do, but that's fine.
Huh.
That's fine. I don't mind doing this at all. It's not heavy. lifting.
What do you do in that capacity?
Well, the board's responsible for the finances of the whole. We oversee. Oversee outer health. The board. I mean, primarily the just like Suzanne runs the show here. we have an executive director that runs the show there. But
It's more of financial kind of.
yeah, primarily. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the healthcare decisions are made by the professionals,
Yeah.
but it's a fair amount of responsibility.
Mm.
So I'm excited about it.
Oh, good.
Uh,
Yeah, I know something, my husband was asked to be on it once and never followed through, I guess, but it was a long time ago.
yeah, yeah. But
Well,
no, I'll be happy to
okay.
take over until you're up and running again.
Yeah, that'll be a year at least, probably.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, good
Okay, well,
luck.
yeah.
Whereabouts are you having it done?
I'm going to Boston. He's going to do it at the Natick outpatient COVID-free place that they just opened, and I feel better about that than going to Hyannis or someplace. I like this group.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
Well,
the one that,
shoulder's pretty tricky stuff.
it's he says 4 or 5 months recovery. Last time it was a year before I could really get full range, but I don't know. It's old age. I mean,
Yeah. That's a
what
rough.
can I do? What is the problem? He's like, you really don't want to know. It starts with G, D, descendant, or it's just
Okay.
anyway.
All right. No, I can
Okay.
handle that. All
All right.
right.
Well,
Very
thanks.
good.
All
See ya.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.